What if H.G. Wells' apocalyptic social satire was actually about Tom Cruise's parenting skills and some really loud tripods? It takes Wells's chilly, slow burn dismantling of Victorian complacency and swaps it for divorced dad drama, running, screaming, crazy Tim Robbins, and the occasional alien blender.
When you say the tripods, I just wanted to go. Rah! It took me a bit to figure out whether that was the tripods or just the
music. Yeah. Right.
Oh boy, this is Shelf to Screen, the podcast where we discuss sci-fi and fantasy literary adaptations to the big and or small screen. I'm Joe Perry.
I'm Jen Isgro.
And I'm Tom Kokoza.
And on this episode, we're going to be talking about the classic. We only do classics around here. Classic sci-fi novel.
Yes.
Sorry. War of the Worlds by H.G. Wells. And the 2005 adaptation by Steven Spielberg. Now there was a 1950 or 3 or something like that movie that was made of this, and there was also another adaptation with a slightly different take that came out not that long ago.
Yeah,
with Ice Cube, if I remember correctly.
That's correct.
There's a lot to talk about.
Yeah, I think we'd be neglectful to not mention the real. I think the most famous adaptation of this is probably the radio play adaptation that a young I think pre-Citizen Kane Orson Welles did, that people thought was a real alien invasion. So this spoiler, this does not have that level of reality to it.
It doesn't?
I did not at any point get confused, no.
Okay. It didn't feel like a action movie at all?
There were well, I guess I don't know how you want to get into it. But.
So let's get back to basics, because we were doing a TV series before this, so we kind of fell a little bit out of a pattern, whatever pattern we had established for a very short time. Because I didn't need to ask this question, but I did, in the other episodes when we first started, we did movies and we did the first episode of A Night of the Seven Kingdoms is, what is your first introduction to War of the Worlds, whether it was the book or the movie or whatever?
I read this book a really long time ago. I vaguely remembered it, but I have read it again over the last week or two and watched the movie yesterday, having never seen it before.
Jen, how was the read? How would you describe it? If you could pick one word to describe the read.
Oh, tumultuous.
And why do you say that? In the
words of H.G. Wells, tumultuous. He loves that word. Tumultuous, he used that word a lot. But I would not describe this book as a tumultuous read.
Okay. How about you, Tom?
I feel like something like this omnipresent. Like, I don't remember a time where I didn't know something about this. I too had read the book when I was much younger. Like I mean, like preteen, childhood. Like probably too young to really understand what I was reading. So I also read it anew in preparation for this show, and it was close to reading it. I knew it was gonna happen, kind of, but like I didn't remember any of the details of it. So that was a fun experience. I think my first exposure to it was knowing about that radio play and reading about it before I had seen like the 1950s movie with my dad. I saw this film not when it came out, but probably the first time, maybe around 10 years ago or so. I do remember when it was being made, though, because parts of it were filmed not that far away from my house.
Mm-hmm.
That's right.
Sure were.
This is a locally sourced movie.
Yeah.
Well, at least the beginning of it is. I haven't actually looked up where all the setting was, because I have a feeling once they get out of Jersey, or once they get out of that area where they live, that it could be filmed anywhere.
It's mostly filmed in the Northeast. It's partially filmed in New Jersey as well as New York, and I believe in Connecticut and in LA on sound stages. So the exterior of the basement in which the major set piece of the film takes place is a real farm in Connecticut. The actual basement that the film is in LA. So
my introduction to this is I think I read the book back a long time ago. I remember the book distinctly in my house, and it was one of those little. It was like a little square. I think it was to be honest, like a children's version of the book, and because I remember that it was like smaller than a regular book, and it had. I'm pretty sure it had pictures in it, and we also had a copy of The Time Machine, which I do remember reading, and I do remember a bunch of that story. So, yeah, if I did read this book, I really didn't remember any of it. I also too knew of the Orson Welles, story and reading of it. And when this movie came out, I had no desire to see this movie at all. So this is the first time I've seen this movie. This is my first official War of the Worlds content. So, and I'm very excited because I didn't read the book and I don't have anything to compare it to, so I don't have to worry or think about that whatsoever. So this is an old book too, right? So H.G. Wells wrote this back in 1898. He wrote it after The Time Machine, about 3 years after The Time Machine. The story goes that he was walking the peaceful countryside of Surrey, or Surrey. I'm probably saying that wrong.
Sorry. It's Surrey.
Surrey. Okay.
You said it wrong twice.
Surrey.
Surrey.
Wait. Surrey, is that Tom Cruise's daughter's name?
No,
That's
it's Rachel.
What?
In the movie?
No,
Surrey.
in real life.
In real life.
In real life.
Surrey.
Yes, in real life.
Yeah, Surrey. Suri.
Okay. Coincidence? I think not. He was walking with his brother Frank, and they were having a conversation. They were talking about Tasmanian indigenous population and the tragic fate they befell at the hands of European settlers. Stuff you talk about with your brother. And he thought, suppose some beings from another planet were to drop out of the sky suddenly and land in England. And this was his inspiration for the writing. Which this is so weird because I'm thinking now when we talked about Dune and how his inspiration was writing an article about ecology and sand dunes in Oregon. And this one comes from Tasmanian indigenous population.
Yeah. I will say there's no real subtext to it. It's just text. In the fact that it's very, very clear. And this is part of, I enjoyed this. I didn't remember any of this at all. And even if I did, I don't know if I would have gotten it as a kid, but this is such social commentary for how humans really just treat the planet unbelievably shittily. And we should think about doing a better job of being cohabitants on the planet.
Yeah.
And this is back in the 1800s, which I mean, this is the Industrial Revolution's going on right now, right? I mean, this in the late.
Oh yeah, I mean, it's been going on for a while. This is
where they're. I guess the beginning, right? They're starting to, I guess, realize the effects it has on the environment.
Yeah, this is
this point.
Late Victorian, height of the British Empire, right? Britain is the most powerful country on earth by a fair margin. This is the sun never sets on the British Empire era of the world. And H.G. Wells was somebody who, you don't necessarily expect this from a guy writing in the 1800s. It was very socially progressive and really felt maybe we should stop and think about the things that we're doing, Yeah,
because
Joe,
aliens could come.
Yeah.
You don't know this, but in the book, there's a hefty portion of it that's about what's happening with his brother. So I can only imagine that his brother was like, you got to put me in this.
That's true. That's true.
This guy better have a brother that does some cool shit.
Well, what does the brother do in the book? Well, because our character in the movie doesn't do anything.
He's like, let's cut over to my brother for a bunch of chapters, and he's in London and what he's doing.
Yeah.
And it's you just don't follow the narrator anymore. It's just a different guy.
Yeah. It's another perspective of the invasion.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah,
a city versus countryside.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Pretty much. That's exactly what it is. It's showing stuff that like it's basically I can't get my narrator in all the set pieces I want to show.
Yeah.
Let's have his brother do a bunch of cool stuff.
Yeah.
Well, they should have.
How is it cool stuff? Interesting stuff. Nobody
could have.
Sorry.
Go ahead. No, I was just gonna.
Yeah, please go ahead.
I was going to say that they could have done, or he could have done a what's his name does, Max Brooks does in World War Z, where he does that. He cuts over to all different parts of the world, but it's all tied together because he's a reporter interviewing all these people about what happened.
Okay.
And this is very the book is first person narration, right? It's a guy who is already a writer pre-alien invasion.
Wait, he's not a longshoreman?
No, not alone.
Does it lift shipping containers?
No. He's a writer of he's like a writer of philosophy.
Oh, I see that. Okay.
And he's
You see the connection
so
there?
I see the connection there.
Right, very close adaptation, right? And so like he's like friends with academia and all that circles, but he's writing his tale basically, and like towards the end of the novel, like they get into the fact that like a lot of the official popular versions of what happened are not really based on reality. It's just based on like second or third hand information. So he wanted to kind of give a sense of what really happened.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, very different from the movie.
Yeah. A lot of it is.
I knew going into this though that that in the book the main character did not live in Bayonne, New Jersey.
No.
In 2005?
In 2005.
No.
Well, obviously it wasn't going to be the same, year, but that
Joe,
part.
I don't know if you could tell that he lived in Bayonne because the Bayonne Bridge was in his backyard. That's Bayonne, like right on that strip. That's it. Everybody lives in Bayonne. It's underneath the bridge.
Underneath the bridge.
That's it.
Yeah.
Just to make sure you didn't get confused.
I'm pretty sure that they even say in the description like Jersey City, and I'm like, that's not Jersey City. That's Bayonne because he lives underneath the Bayonne Bridge.
I didn't hear the name of anywhere.
No, they talked about Boston.
Except for Boston.
Boston.
That's, yeah.
I was like, are they?
They
Because is
mentioned
he
the
working in the
turnpike.
city?
They mentioned the turnpike at one point.
Okay.
His son's like, why aren't we on the turnpike? And he
Because I knew they filmed part of it in Staten Island, so I was like, oh, is this like the Staten Island side of the Bayonne Bridge? Like,
No, he's in
I
New
wasn't
Jersey.
quite
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah,
But then they started talking about the PATH train, and
yes.
so then I
So anyone who doesn't know, the Bayonne Bridge connects Bayonne, New Jersey, and Staten Island.
On the Tom Cruise and War of the Worlds side of the Bayonne Bridge, that's where George R.R. Martin was born and raised. And so where I was born, I live on Staten Island my whole life, and from my childhood home, I could see the Bayonne Bridge out of like the downstairs window. As I went down the stairs, there was a window to the side, and I looked out that window, I could see the Bayonne Bridge. And somewhere 10, 20 years prior to that, George R.R. Martin stood a similar distance from that bridge and dreamed what glories could be on the other side.
Could see your house.
See my house from the bridge.
the base King's Landing on your house.
Right? No, I'm pretty sure I would. Well, whatever. I was on the North Shore. I don't know how it would be. I don't know the exact geography, but I'd be in the north, I think.
Okay.
Anyway.
So,
yeah,
right,
very local to us.
I want to cut to the chase here because I need to know.
Okay.
But I think I already do know the answer to this. On a scale of 1 to 10, how close is the movie to the book?
3, 2, 3.
Yeah.
There's aliens in it.
There's aliens in it.
The aliens resemble what those machines are kind of the same with the tripods. The red plants
exist but aren't the same in the
and the ray gun, the heat ray, they call it in the book, a heat ray gun that just disintegrates people. The throwing of people into the
baskets
and eating them in a certain way.
I don't
think it's the same. I don't think it's the same.
It's not the same.
Thing.
It's very but it's similar.
Okay.
It's kind of it. There's a lot of things that bothered me a lot that don't make any sense.
Well, there's a lot of things in this movie that don't make sense. So even if you haven't read the books.
I understand that the book is good. It's a good book, but it's there's a lot of like, I was in this town, and I went to this town,
Yeah.
and this town burned, and then this town. I'm like, am I supposed to have any idea what you're talking about? This is for these people that live here right now. It's like Staten Island towns.
Yes,
you know,
it's like what I just did like 5 minutes ago is what he does in the book.
There's a bunch of parts in the book where you're like, oh, this is cool, but the rest of it is like, it's just whatever. But it's a guy surviving, and everything that he explains makes sense in a world where an alien, would come from Mars. But it makes sense to me. There's things in this movie that don't make any sense.
Yes, a lot of things in this movie don't make sense. And I would say that the to me, like, the primary difference is this is just a guy who happened to survive, and he tells you what happened to him. Like, he's not a hero in the book. He doesn't. He's brave sometimes because there's Martians killing people and he's out there trying to survive. But he's not a hero. He doesn't necessarily ever do anything heroic. And for the most of the story, he's by himself. Like, he sends his wife to a different town for safety early on before they know what the danger is. And then he can't get back to her, right?
And all his friends that know anything about this are killed.
Yes.
30 pages into the aliens kill all of them.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. All the people, all the smart scientists that are going to like try and figure, they're immediately killed by the Martians. And then the military is also immediately killed. So but like, there's never a time where I've written the book where I think, okay, at the end, this guy's going to get a machine gun or some grenades and blow up some Martians. Like, that's not what the story is. He doesn't have kids. He doesn't have like fractured relationships with family.
No, happily married.
Right. And then they were like, well, Tom Cruise is going to be the star. So let's Tom Cruise it up a little bit. Let's give him some stuff to work with.
They feel like they went opposite with Tom Cruise, like a prototypical Tom Cruise character where this guy was a deadbeat dad.
Yeah.
I feel like we needed more one of my notes is I felt that we needed more establishment of Tom Cruise's character being a deadbeat. Like, there was just like a few things.
No food in the fridge.
But I wanted
kids don't really like him.
I wanted to get into his character before the alien invasion.
Yeah, there's not enough establishment of like.
This is not a very long movie. It's less than 2 hours.
Yeah.
They could have added 5 more minutes of Tom Cruise being a deadbeat dad.
Joe, everybody in the neighborhood is his friend.
Of course.
Everybody he passes on the street, he knows by name.
Yeah.
So he must be a good guy.
I thought Amy Ryan was going to be in the movie a bit more when I saw her.
I know.
I was like, oh, that's Amy Ryan. She's probably going to be, I was like, she won't make it through the whole movie, but she'll probably be like on the first quarter leg of their journey.
What about Lisa Ann Walter, also in like a minute and a half of the movie?
Well, this movie is 20 years old. 21 years old
I know,
now.
but like, why even put that character in there? I don't know.
There's a lot of things. Like his buddy with the van is like, you're like, oh, okay, here's his friend. Oh, he's dead immediately too.
Oh yeah,
the mechanic.
What's his face? That guy's a comedian, right? In real life.
I didn't know who he was.
Lenny Venito.
But why is Tom Cruise, a guy who lifts shipping containers, the only person in the vicinity who could think of how to fix a car? Not even the mechanic thinks of it.
Well,
why does he think of it?
Well, there's established that he's some sort of a mechanic because he has the engine in his kitchen, just sitting up on a stand.
I didn't even see that.
Yeah, I think it's like kind of.
It's like right in the beginning when they go in the house. He says he makes a comment about it, and there's just an engine on a stand in his like dining room kitchen area.
I am not a car guy, but I was reading about this after the fact. And apparently, like the car that he has is like a super gearhead.
Oh yeah.
Kind of like it's supposed to imply like he's
like a muscle car.
But it's supposed to imply that he's like very mechanically automotively inclined.
Although he never uses that.
Doesn't come into play after he fixes the van.
The car, one car.
Yeah, that's right. He steals the car,
and
but
nobody else.
He didn't do anything mechanical to that car except use the keys.
He tells him replace this piece, which is like the electromagnetic. So I guess. Like that's how you fix the alien lightning that shut off.
Well, if it makes you feel any better, apparently a lot of other people know that because people use cars like they're like driving on the ferry and stuff. Like some of the cars die, but like
I don't know.
Whatever.
Maybe
the old cars that don't have electricity inside of them.
That car might have been from the 90s, so
maybe okay.
There was electricity in the cars in the 90s, though. So. I want us to just start getting into this and talking about it because there's a lot of interesting things in here, and I'm just going to keep asking questions about the book. But just to get into the movie, right? We mentioned that there was an older version of this movie. A little bit about this movie was it was all done very, very quickly. The movie itself was fast-tracked into production. It only took 72 days, I think I have somewhere around here. 72 days to shoot.
Yeah, and it was 10 months from start to in the theaters.
Yes.
10 months.
Yeah, that's wild. I don't think that happens ever.
So
I mean, I guess you just say like Steven Spielberg's right. So this is shortly after Minority Report. Mm-hmm. So Steven Spielberg and Tom Cruise have collaborated. I guess they said, let's do something again. Sure, let's go. We're both really powerful people in the industry. We'll just let's just start filming tomorrow.
Who wrote this movie? I have to look
Cap. Let's get David Cap, who's written tons
is he good?
of.
Yeah.
Yes.
Did they call him up at like midnight and say, "I need the script by 5:30"?
It was even
that's like what it feels like. Even it doesn't make any sense.
The production of it, even the screenwriting stuff, was very rushed. Ugh. I think Munich, which if memory serves, as soon as post-production wrapped, the next day Spielberg was filming Munich. Munich had gotten delayed, and Cruise had a gap, and they said, "Let's do it now."
Oh my God.
And so. This is the first movie too that George Lucas and Steven Spielberg are long time friends. Lucas had just finished doing all the Star Wars prequels and showed Spielberg about doing previs, right? Pre-visualizations of your VFX shots to kind of help set that up. This is the first movie that Spielberg did that with, which helped him understand what all the big effect shots were going to be. They filmed all of that stuff first, so the VFX studios could be working on that while they were filming the less effects heavy, intimate scenes later on the production schedule, which kind of helped push all that along. And the effects are very good. Like normally when you hear something's that rushed, the visuals really take a hit. But if you know what you're going to do and you're able to plan that out appropriately, and you have the resources of Spielberg and Cruise together, I guess you could get the effects houses to have the time to do what they need to do. Yeah.
And they must have spent some time working on the script, because there was a whole big thing where this is a post 9/11 movie, right? It's 4 years after 9/11. I mean, they started filming it, well, probably
I think it was also
filming that same year.
Yeah, I think it was all in the same year. Yeah.
Yeah. So it might have been the same year. I don't remember what time of year. This feels like a summer movie though, but so maybe they did start filming in 2004. Right. There was that, like, how do we make this, movie that's about mass panic in New York or adjacent to New York City, without being exploitative. Yeah.
So I remember
there had to be some thought.
I remember, yes, it was definitely the making of this movie was a reaction to 9/11, both in like the powerlessness that people in America felt, and in the like something from outside of our culture is coming to destroy us, and maybe it's showing us things about ourselves, but like also like the panic and the violence that it brought in American society. I remember there was a period of time from around when this movie came out through like the second Star Trek reboot movie, the one Star Trek Into Darkness, where it's like, I am so sick of buildings getting destroyed and people getting covered in gray dust in films. I'm sick of watching 9/11 interpreted on in film again. But I will say this, as much as it is that, and it's very clear that's an influence in this movie. In the book, like, there is, the aliens have like another form of killing people, which is like this black poison cloud. It, like, H.G. Wells kind of prevised chemical warfare, right? Mustard gas and stuff, things they were using during World War I. But he had this black poisonous cloud that when it dissipated, left like people covered in like a black ashy soot. And so it is something that's kind of pulled from the book as well.
Well, I will say this, that, in this movie, there wasn't so much coverage by the gray soot of crumbled buildings so much as the gray soot of freshly vaporized human beings.
That's true. Well, I mean,
but their clothes were okay. Didn't touch the clothes. It makes for a good.
I didn't even notice that. There's another thing that makes no sense.
But yeah, well, how do you not notice it? You just see
I just
clothes
didn't think
falling
about
from the
it.
sky multiple
You're right.
times.
I
in the
noticed
movie.
it. I didn't like think of it as being dumb.
It was weird, but it made for a really cool visual though.
Yeah, like
just
these are
empty clothes falling from the sky. These were all once people, and it's like,
the not Martian, the alien death rays kill living beings, not organic matter.
Only organic matter. And then that scene where like Tom Cruise is in, when he goes back to his house after everything goes down, and he's looking in the mirror, and then he like realizes what's on him, and he's like brushing it off, like these are people on me.
Yeah,
I thought that was a really cool scene.
I think I will say this because I think Jen and I both were a little bit like not necessarily thrilled with all this film, but I don't think it's poorly acted by Cruise or
Fanning.
Dakota Fanning. Oh, and again, we mentioned it in the opening, but the only thing I truly remembered from this movie before rewatching it was how much I loved Tim Robbins in it.
Well, oh wow, okay, so
yeah,
I feel like when we got to that part, the movie just hit a wall and just dragged from that. Like it just slowed down.
Came back.
It just slowed down. It was like Tim Robbins, boom. Tim Robbins, we hit the Tim Robbins wall. It just drags from there on because I feel like that scene, I didn't time it, but that whole scene from when they meet Tim Robbins to when they leave that area, because I mean, they get sucked up into the alien thing and all that stuff. And the one grenade blows up that whole thing, which is probably not even powerful enough to kill all those people in that cage. But anyway, all the way up until there, I feel like that was like a third of the movie.
I think it was close.
Though.
I think it was
real
a close.
Time.
I hear you. I do think that's a very significant portion of the film. Like Tim Robbins is effectively the only other like character in the movie. Like Dakota Fanning is not even like she's a very talented actress. Like she doesn't do anything in this movie. She just exists to be in danger.
But you can tell she's spunky because her clothes don't match.
That's true. Yeah. And then you think like the other son's going to be a great foil for Cruise, but then he's just gone for most of the film.
Just what even?
Right? And then he's just okay at the end.
I gotta do this, Dad. I gotta do this.
What do you mean? What are you going to do? I don't understand.
I don't understand
what
he's
runs off with the. You're 17 years old.
I gotta fight.
Like no. Then join the army after the aliens are defeated. Like, what are you talking about? Why?
It worked out for him.
He just doesn't want to do his homework is what it comes down to.
I don't know how it worked out for him. I don't know how the hell he got out of there.
I don't.
Well, it's a movie, everybody.
Stupid. No,
that's why.
He made it because of Steven Spielberg. That whole part is in this movie because of Steven Spielberg. We need to have a son and father conflict.
Yeah.
Like, this is dumb. It doesn't make any sense.
Like, wait, okay. If Steven Spielberg's in there, you know that there's going to be a divorced or a single parent, and that parent is going to have an issue with their kid.
Like, what? I just... okay, go ahead. Run off. Go ahead.
All right.
Yeah. Well, your sister's about to get kidnapped by these two
Look, if they would have just followed the son, they would have made it to Boston fine.
I guess.
He's okay.
I mean, he didn't have to, Tom Cruise didn't have to say, hey, wait here. Just come with me. Walk the 20 feet over here to your brother. Well, maybe he planned on saying some things he didn't want her to hear. I don't know. Or maybe we just needed to have that play out that way for the movie.
Anyway, regarding Tim Robbins, yes, that scene is very long, but I feel like Tim Robbins is like, this movie wants to be about what real people would go through. But the problem is the real person is Tom Cruise, and he's not like you can't expect
Tom Cruise is not a real person.
You can't expect Tom Cruise to play an everyman. You just can't.
But
I can imagine Tim Robbins being some crazy dude who's just like,
yeah, he was good in it. It just the movie was going, it was moving, and then it was just like, we're gonna stop here for a while.
That scene is like partly from the book.
Yeah,
like
I'm sure.
It draws it.
He's like a combo of I think like two different characters from the book.
Yeah.
Right.
Did the narrator in the book decide that he's just going to murder the guy?
Yes.
He doesn't murder.
Oh, Yeah, well, he almost murders him.
And he decides not to, and then
he knocks him out.
He knocks him out, then the alien.
And then the alien grabs
the Martians
so he effectively kills him.
Yeah, he does feel bad about it afterwards. But that guy, the character in the book is like a curate, which is like kind of like a deacon, I guess, and has gone like full on crazy at this point, like religious mania, and is like they're hiding in the house, and the guy's just screaming about how he's gonna meet God or whatever else. He's running out trying to get the Martians' attention. So the narrator picks up a meat cleaver and then at the last minute says, wait, and hits him with the handle instead of the blade and knocks him out. But then the Martians hear him anyway and eat him.
Yeah, I mean, the Tim Robbins stuff was good. The whole eye, that was just very long with the eye looking around for them.
And then
the tentacle. And the mirror,
and
then the aliens come in and start looking through photos. Like
that part was weird.
That was because it wouldn't have been weird if that one alien picked up the photo, looked at it, and put it down. No, he passes it to the other alien and is like, "Hey, check this out," and picks up another photo, if I recall correctly.
Awesome. I know what you're talking about.
Oh boy, so much stuff. I liked my favorite line of the movie is in the beginning when the aliens first come and Tom Cruise grabs his kids and they're getting out of town, and so Justin Chatwin's asking him what's going on, like where they come from, or something like that, and Tom Cruise goes, "It came from someplace else," and Justin Chatwin goes, "Like Europe?" And Tom Cruise goes, "No, Robbie. Not Europe." Like just the way he said it, like he wanted to punch him in the face and be like, "You fucking idiot." Sorry. I just stopped and laughed hysterical at that line. So a question I do have about the book, because this is something in the movie that they don't really go into, and I didn't know if it was something they pulled from the books or not. I feel like if they probably did because they didn't go into it too much. But is it in the books? Are these like robot machines buried beneath the earth?
No.
And the aliens come?
No.
Okay, so none of that
makes no sense.
It doesn't make any sense.
They must have been there for 1,000,000 years. 1,000,000 years in all these locations right under the ground, and we never found them. No one ever came across one.
Right.
Well,
You were
in
Bayonne, New Jersey.
Okay?
Well,
so
we're not just in Bayonne, New Jersey, right?
You know how many bodies are buried underneath that?
in the book, they come down from Mars. And I don't like in our notes about this, it says, well, they didn't want to have them come down from Mars because we know there's nobody on Mars. Who cares? It's an alien movie.
I agree.
That's where you're going to draw the line that they can't come from Mars because that's beyond us. Shut up. So they came 1,000,000 years ago and put their shit under the ground and then waited.
And then they come with lightning to like pop. I don't get it. It doesn't make any sense. It's dumb as hell.
Right, they create lightning. In the book, they come down in like, he calls them cylinders, like ships, I guess. They crashed in a bunch of different places in England, and they spent a little time like building I guess they're putting the tripods together with the shit they brought with them, and then they come out. So like the first one that comes is in there for like a day or a day and a half, like trying to come out and building it. And that's believable to me.
Yeah, it's actually like,
more than what we saw in this movie.
It's a cool part of like the beginning pieces of the story because like it's just one ship, and then like every few days another ship lands. So like in the beginning, there's not a ton of Martians, and they're protecting the Martians who are like getting set up. So like they're traveling to like a crash site, and like the Martians who are there already are like running defense while other guys kind of build up until they build up their troops. And it's always like every time you think here's another ship's going to come. And in the beginning of the story, like I mentioned, the guy's friends with academia, so he's hanging out with some of his astronomer friends, and they're noticing that like there's 10 what end up being ship launches off of Mars, right, over the course of a few nights. So like okay, there's going to be at least this many coming because he's seen them at the beginning, so it adds like a counter as the story goes on. But yes, they're not like secretly buried under the ground, and then like are the aliens in the lightning and the machines are under the ground?
A pod in the lightning. That's what the news reporter shows them.
Yes, she shows them the alien in the lightning going into the ground.
No, dumb, absolutely dumb.
It's really weird. That's
so dumb.
Well, that's why I thought maybe it was in the book because I thought like why would you come? Why couldn't the machines
Why
just
would
come down
you?
from the sky?
Yeah.
Why would you,
The
Joe?
machines come from the sky.
That's a great idea. I wish somebody would have wrote about it. Oh, they did. 100 years ago.
Like they could have just had the tripods come fully formed from the sky.
Right, or whatever. That's
Or
beyond belief.
Or they come down as like, like ships and then the legs come out of them,
They come out. Yeah, whatever. Whatever. It's an alien movie.
I wonder why they did this. Yeah, this is an interesting choice. Yeah, it didn't make sense to me. Like, what, these things have been here for millions of years. Like, I know this was unreliable characters surmising this, right? It wasn't like we actually got any official knowledge or information that this was the case. So, but how else did they get there? That the machines, I don't know.
And like that's, I guess, because they can't have like they're here and they're getting their shit together. Like that's, I understand. Like at a certain point, you're like, well, humanity's technology has increased in the 100 or so years since the book was written, right? So like, whatever, there weren't telephones, like, well, there weren't cell phones and they weren't cars yet, and so there weren't planes. So like the aliens can take their time and it's going to take time for like troops to mobilize anyway. And they,
but they could have landed somewhere not in the city.
Right.
They could have landed like in the book, they landed like the countryside where it's going to take people a little bit of time to figure out what's going on here because it's a little bit deserted.
He can't be a longshoreman on the countryside, Jen.
Well, be something else.
He can work on the river. He doesn't have to work. He doesn't have to work on the ocean.
Could be on the shipping boat going down.
He could be in the Allegheny.
Yeah.
Then you can't see the Bayonne Bridge collapse, I guess. If you're not in Bayonne.
Yeah. Got to put that in there. It's required.
Yeah, the lightning stuff is no good.
No, dumb. Lightning doesn't hit the same place twice.
Oh, man, how predictable was that, huh? Some of the stuff is so telegraphed. I'm like, I know what's going to happen next.
It's bad. It's bad. I don't understand. This is a Steven Spielberg movie. What is going on?
72 days.
And everybody loved it. It made a lot of money.
It made a lot of money.
Made a shit ton of money.
I don't know.
I mean, it looked awesome. I remember like it was a Super Bowl commercial for it. And like, seeing, I think you see the bridge blow up in the commercial. And like, it looked awesome. And you think like Spielberg, Cruise, War of the Worlds, it sounds great.
Yeah.
It didn't to me though, because I had no interest in this movie when it came out. And I think I was like, Spielberg, Cruise, War of the Worlds. This doesn't look good.
So,
but it was it was entertaining. I'm not saying this was a great movie at all, but I enjoyed watching it until we got to the, about halfway through the Tim Robbins section.
Wait, there's more I have to talk about before that.
I know that. But
okay, good.
I'm just saying, like, that's just back. Like, let's go back. We can go back. I mean, do you want to go back to when, society breaks down and people are jumping on cars, ripping open windshields with their bare hands?
Yeah. Like, so, wait.
That guy was possessed.
I want to go back to them being in Bayonne and Bayonne Bridge collapses, and then he's in Staten Island by the outer bridge, which he's not supposed to be in Staten Island, but that bothered me because there's no way for him to get there. But anyway,
maybe he took the Goethals Bridge.
Dan wanted me to make a joke about whether the traffic on the expressway is worse in this movie or on a regular day. With every car not moving and people walking around. But
good thing he's the only one who knows about solenoids, though.
Right. Change that solenoid. What? Okay, cool. Yeah. And then the plane crash. Can we talk about the plane crashing into the house? With not a soul aboard? What's going on? Why did that plane crash? Because the plane's falling out of the sky?
No, I probably got hit with the ray or something, right? One of those.
I don't know. Who knows? Because there's nobody in the plane. There's no passengers.
Yeah, that's a weird thing. And I think maybe I think that was just like Steven Spielberg saying, I don't want to show a bunch of, maybe they're vaporized, Jen. Maybe they got vaporized by the.
So where's all their clothes?
Well, they're there. It's a lot of rubble there.
I don't know. I just feel like if you didn't want to show them, then keep the fuselage closed. Don't break it open so I could see 100 empty seats on the plane. I don't know. That bothered.
I guess they wanted that one guy to do his scavenging through for food.
Were you on this plane? What?
I just thought it was more strange that they didn't know that a fucking plane crashed right on, like basically next to the house. A jet, fucking 747 jet crashed literally into the street in front of his house, and they didn't even realize it.
Well, they were in the basement.
I know there was the fire thing, but
when they were driving, the son says, "Where's all the planes?" So I was like, "Oh, all the planes are gonna just like fall out of the sky now because, like, they don't work anymore."
Yeah,
that didn't happen. Except for like 12 hours later, one plane fell with nobody on it. Like,
well, maybe that was from
on?
the lightning. The lightning.
I don't. But yeah. It was a half a day later.
But they weren't. The attack wasn't all in like the same place at the same time, right? Because in the beginning of the movie, like they've already attacked in the Ukraine, and there's mentions of other places that the aliens have already started attacking.
Yeah, but they were still in New Jersey, though.
They were in a nicer part of New Jersey.
They were Manalapan. They didn't attack Manalapan until the next day.
They were over near where Tony Soprano lives.
They were in Far Hills. That's where my in-laws live. Okay, yeah. Yeah. Okay, I get it. Whatever. I don't know.
What a scene I really did like though was the whole scene with right. We have this scene with the horrible people and the guns, and Tom Cruise is just like, just give me my daughter, just give me my daughter, and then people just start going crazy. Like, I don't know where this guy thinks he's going with the car, but not very far clearly.
Right.
But then we get the ferry scene afterwards, which I really liked. I thought it was a good scene.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Entertainment value. It might be the best sequence in the movie. I don't know. Yeah. I like that whole sequence. The birds flying away. I was like, why? What's going on with that? And then I guess it comes back later where the birds are flying at it. I don't know.
At the end?
Yeah.
So that didn't make sense to me either, because he was using that to indicate that the birds could touch the machine and therefore the shields were down.
Yeah. Right.
But in the book, he sees the birds flying around the tripod because the alien's dead and they're like eating it.
Yeah.
Oh.
So it's completely different.
Yeah. It's like
the alien's like up top in the driver's seat, I guess. And I guess once he's dead, I guess maybe it's broken and they can get in there and start like scavenging. And the dogs are scavenging on them, and that's how he kind of realizes that these things are dead. They're dead inside the machines.
Okay. All right.
Except for the one that like crawls out and dramatically dies in front of everyone.
By the way,
and like a whole bunch of goo falls out. What is that? Dan thought it was liquefied people, but I don't know.
I think it's supposed to be, right? So that is something in the books, right? In the books, they kind of talk about like how the aliens don't have any sort of digestive system at all, and they just literally like are kind of like vampires. They take their sustenance from the fluids of other creatures, so they just suck you dry and
yeah. I didn't think that they like liquefied your whole body into like like I thought they just like got your blood or whatever was in you and like injected it straight into their bloodstream.
Yeah, they actually say they have like a little like a second mouth to like pour that stuff in, and it just that they run on that till they run out, and then they go, and that's how they eventually get sick.
Well, that's how they die so fast, because it's literally right in their bloodstream.
Right, they're just pumping
the germs
in,
right in
whatever germs people have directly into their own bloodstream. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, thank God for Morgan Freeman to explain that for us. That was interesting. That I was like, oh, he's narrating the opening of this movie. I wonder if he's going to be in it or anything else. But no, he just. And then I forgot at the end he started talking again. I was like, oh, that's right. Morgan Freeman narrated the beginning of this movie. He's going to do it at the end too. Was Morgan Freeman, you think, the character from the book?
Probably not.
Probably not.
I'm gonna go with no on that one.
Yeah.
Did the character from the book even have a name?
No, unnamed.
Okay. So Dan was like, they're shooting them with a heat ray, and this guy's name is Ray.
Yes, that's right.
And they'd be like, everybody in the family had an R name. It was just
they were all R's.
We know people like that.
Yeah.
Except for Mary Ann, the wife.
Well,
they're not together anymore.
He should have knew that she was not going to work. It was not going to work out because they didn't have the same first letter.
Right.
So that's on them for not realizing that ahead of time. I thought the tripods were cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, they were.
They were cool.
Fine.
Yeah. No, they weren't. You guys.
The effects were good. The acting was good. Everything else in the movie, I thought the screenplay, the script was terrible, nothing in the movie made sense to me. There's no climax to the movie at all. Like, after the grenade, is that the climax? Because once they get to Boston, it's just like, oh, everybody's dead.
Yeah.
You did it. Like,
Yeah.
what? There's no big, like, I know there's no big, it's not in the book either. It just kind of ends.
It does, but there is like a big, it's a personal climax for him realizing what's happened.
Right.
And like, it's cool because like, whatever. In the book, he goes back to London. Like, London's already like, been obliterated by these things. They're running it. And like, he's trying to find out if he can find out where his wife is. And he figures London's the only place that may have people who may have information about anything that's like what happened after everything went to shit. So he goes in and he's hearing things. He's trying to figure out what's happening. It's just like a big revelation. You think like he's the first person to discover because this thing dies in front of him and he sees other ones are dead. And then like he's like, actually people found out like the night before. And they had already like told everybody. But it was for me, it was the first time I knew. Like, so, but again, that's the climax of the book is like, it's just you, the reader, knowing what happened. And like, it's interesting because he teases it with the plant life, which is just plant life. It's not like, I don't know, it doesn't run on blood or whatever. It's red because it's red because Mars has a lot of iron. Like, and so it's just red.
Okay, that's the connection.
It's just
with
red
Mars.
plant life, right?
Yeah.
But the plant life dies first.
Yeah. Well, that happens in the movie.
Yeah.
But what
Like
are
3
doing?
minutes before the aliens die.
Did they come to Earth to kill people and plant? Is that what they're doing while they're?
No, the plant just like grew.
Yeah.
I feel like I don't know if they planted it.
No,
did they?
he says he doesn't know whether it was like on purpose or if they brought it as food or if they brought it as like or even if it was on purpose or not. But like this plant life was on the ships and it kind of grew out.
No.
And then it dies from like plant bacteria or whatever, I don't know, fungal, in fact, whatever, first. So it kind of like seeds the idea with you that like the life is not really capable of living on this planet before what happens to the Martians happens.
We get that conveyed by Tom Cruise touching the stuff and looking at it and then brushing it away.
Yeah, like a minute before the aliens die.
Oh, well, I mean, I guess they set it up, right? You're talking about when it gets to Boston and like all the vines are like dead.
Yeah.
But I mean, when like he first.
Oh, before that?
Yeah, when he first is like touching
Oh,
it. There's no discussion about it whatsoever.
No.
Well, I guess he's got nobody to talk to about it, but he could have talked to Tim Robbins about it, but I guess he was a little going crazy or whatever. Yeah, I kind of got the feeling though in the book though that they don't explain a lot either. But that's the whole point is like, they don't know.
No, they do.
They explain a decent amount.
They explain more than...
Oh, okay.
Yeah, more than the movie.
Because he's also saying like, some of the stuff like I found out later.
Right.
Okay.
Like
So
he
I'm going
tells
to
you
tell
like,
you about this now, but I didn't know it at the time. But now I have this knowledge that this is X, Y, Z.
Yeah, they didn't do that in this.
Yeah.
Where,
I want to say about halfway through, maybe 3/4 of the way through, like he lets you know straight up like that humans win. Like this is not like I'm writing this from a cave somewhere kind of story. And he talks about like the autopsies that we've done after the fact found that this was like about the digestive systems and like how the aliens are like what the aliens are. And he's like basically they're just heads. They're just brains and eyes and mouths and hands.
And
tentacles are hands. And like that's it.
There's a really good line in the book. It's something like, they don't have like any bad humor that like humans have based on when they have a bad gastric system or their digestive system is out of whack.
Right.
Like they don't have to worry about that. He's just saying like our temperament as humans can be based on whether we're having, basically whether you're having like a stomach ache that day.
Right. Or if
And
you're
they don't
angry.
have to worry about that. I was
Right.
like, oh,
and they're
that's funny.
genderless, and so
like,
you don't have to worry about like
Yeah.
any kind of weird psychosexual hangups either.
Yeah.
Like they actually one of them buds. That's right. I forgot about that. Like they duplicated budding in the books.
well,
Yeah.
I'm glad we didn't see. I'm kind of glad we didn't see that.
That happened. He's like,
They don't look anything like what they look like in the book either.
Yeah, okay.
They look like typical movie aliens to me. I don't know.
he kind of
Wait,
describes
what
them
looks
looking like Goombas with tentacles.
Yeah, they have like crazy weird tentacles. They have no legs.
Yeah.
There's like these tentacles that they walk on and then like an ear in the back of their head or something. And 2 big eyes and like a mouth. That's it.
Oh, that would have been kind of cool to see.
Yeah, imagine. I also, why is his ex-wife just in the house with her parents and it's just cool? There's like an alien 3 blocks away from them. I don't understand.
Oh, you mean why haven't they like evacuated or whatnot?
Yeah, like everything's fine with them. They're just home. And like they didn't evacuate. The house is fine. Everything's fine.
Because real
Almost as if
waspy
they
people
didn't-
don't run from aliens.
That's
Who
right.
doesn't?
Real wasps. Like Miranda Otto.
My
The sun
my
comes
ancestors came here on the Mayflower, damn it, and we're not leaving.
I was like,
Right, exactly right.
she's not going to ask about her son. They're just going to like assume he's dead. And then he came out. I was like, get the fuck out of here.
Who's not going to ask
What?
about the son? Oh, her.
Because
Oh,
she
why
saw the daughter and then they like reunited. And then I was like, oh, she's not even going to ask about her
She
son?
did take a double take where I thought she was going to ask about Robbie, and then he appeared. So I was
Came
like,
out.
oh,
Come on.
And here's Abe Lincoln. No, sorry. Everyone's back.
yeah.
Whatever.
He can't die. Yeah. I didn't like that whole part. That whole thing. Like you made him go off, and then he's just he's fine.
Yeah, like, did he like not have enough time to finish filming? Like,
And he
what?
got back before you.
Yeah, like how?
He wasn't
Was the
stuck
army
in,
just like, what are you doing here? And they just like put him in a car and took him away?
Yeah, he
and
didn't
brought
get
him
stuck
home?
in the
Like,
basement
what?
with Tim Robbins for 45 minutes.
That's what it is. He got waylaid.
He just
by
went straight
Captain
to
Undershirt. Yeah.
It was just to emphasize how long
He,
that
like,
scene was.
He pretended he was going there and he was like, I just got to get away from my dad. Like as
What
soon
a-
as Tom Cruise
what a
turned around, he just
D-bag.
went the opposite direction.
Yeah.
He doesn't even like the Yankees, just wearing a hat on purpose.
Yeah, his Boston hat. In the beginning of the movie, I thought he literally was wearing a Boston hat for no other reason than to piss his dad off.
Antagonized his dad.
And I was like, wow, this kid really hates his father. And then I was like, oh no, like his family's from Boston. So I get like, it makes sense. He's still,
Right.
he's still being a dick to his dad, but it makes sense. It's not as bad as I thought.
No.
Although not knowing your own daughter is allergic to peanuts, that's pretty fucking bad.
Yeah.
Yes, both of my children are allergic to peanuts.
Did
You gotta
Tom
know
in
that.
in the movie, did the narrator throw a peanut butter sandwich at a window?
How many times in the book, you
I mean.
mean?
In the
How many
book, sorry.
times do they have to do that to get the bread to stick to the window?
I
It
imagine.
probably was like 1 or 2 times. I bet you that peanut butter. They could have just buttered both sides too.
I also feel like Tom Cruise seems like the kind of person who could just be like, oh yeah, I could do that. Like, no problem.
I'm Tom Cruise. Want me to jump out of an airplane? I'll jump out of an airplane. Want me to throw a peanut butter sandwich at a
No,
window?
Tom, just throw the
can do
peanut
it.
butter sandwich.
That was like the
That's all
start.
we
That
need
was
to
the
do.
start of him getting really hooked on stunts.
Yeah.
He's like, man, first take. I got an itch for this now.
Tom Cruise actually wanted to jump through the window, and they were like, no, just throw the sandwich at it.
Just the sandwich, Tom.
just the sandwich.
I'm gonna go home. I'm trying to think.
Oh.
Yeah, the narrator. So it's funny you say how long it is. The person that Tim Robbins' character kind of, one of the two characters that he's kind of based on is this guy. Like I said, he's called the curate, who eventually collapses into religious mania. But like the two of them are stuck in a house that's literally like buried underneath one of these Martian ships that crash land
Okay.
for like 2 weeks. It's just the two of them in the house. And the curate's getting crazier and crazier and won't stop eating all the food. And
Oh,
so
boy.
like that's like the only time that this guy actually gets like physical is where eventually he's like, no, like you have to stop and you cannot eat anymore because we need to save this or we'll die. And-
He starts out like hating the guy.
Well, yeah, the guy's a
Like,
wacko
before
from
they
the
even get
get-go.
stuck there.
Yeah. But well before any of this stuff happens, he's like, he meets the guy and he talks about how like he should have just left him behind immediately,
Yeah.
but unfortunately he didn't. And then like it's a bunch of chapters with the brother, and then you find out why this guy's a whack dude.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
The brother gets into like a fist fight on
Yeah,
the
the brother
road.
has action, and like a lot of the stuff that with like the carjackings and like people being lunatics like travel
Yeah.
through, a lot of that is the stuff that the brother experiences because he's in London and trying to get out, and he has an idea. Most of the people in London are trying to go north, and he's trying to go west, and so he's basically just traveling against a giant stream of people the entire time. And it's all pre-car times, but like people are running each other over with like horse and buggy carts and like trying to take things from each other. And so there's a lot of that. A lot of that is from the books and just a more modern version.
And this, like, the whole concept of, and I think you kind of touched on it a bit, of like how it ends with the aliens just dying from basically like bacteria and,
Yeah.
germs. It just made me think of Independence Day with the germs.
Yeah, well,
the
that's
virus,
a
the virus.
reference. That's a reference to this. Yeah.
Yeah. That's all. That's part of the books, right? That's just what happens.
Yep.
Yeah.
And I liked. It's just so funny at the end of the movie. It was just Morgan Freeman's like, well, they were going to die as soon as they got here anyway.
Yeah.
Well, why do we watch this movie then?
The first shot of the movie is like a germ.
Yeah, it's paramecium or something like that. So.
I didn't notice that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like in water. Yeah.
Yeah.
So at the end of the book,
Clever.
like that happens. There's like 2 chapters of denouement after the aliens invasion fails.
Denouement, Tom, isn't it? I think you mean
denouement. I do. And
spoken like a 2 wasp.
Denouement. So yeah, there's 2 chapters of falling action after the climax of the book, and I think it's in the epilogue piece where he's like they're hypothesizing why this happened, and is Mars like getting too cold, too far away from the sun, or like they're just desperate to find someplace else to go, and so they just tried it and saw whether it could work or not. And then like observers find like whatever it is, like they're looking at the different orbit patterns of the planets, and they notice that like Mars now sent some stuff over to Venus to try there, and like that's like part of the end. It's like it's like so like theorizing that like Mars is just dying, so they have to try something, and so they're just trying to find another planet where they can live.
Okay, I feel like this is the plot of a lot of alien movies, but I guess obviously it takes it from this because
this is one of the first
aliens are trying to survive. Their planet's dying, and they need to find someplace else to go.
And again, like he's directly, which other things more or less I think understand that they're touching upon this, but he's directly saying like, this is what we as British imperialists do to the rest of the world. We just want places to live, so we go there and kill everybody, and then we take it for ourselves.
Okay, so it's not but is it a survival thing that the aliens do this for, or is it they do it because then if
no,
I feel like he's almost like
I think that's the science fiction piece of it. Is like they're trying to figure out, is there a reason why? They theorize that it's farther away from the sun. Maybe it's dying. Maybe it's getting colder. Like I think at this point they've noticed the polar ice caps in Mars or whatever.
Okay.
So he's trying to figure out a reason for it. But again, like the British feel they have a reason for expanding outside of England. Like there's not enough space for all of everybody, and they want more, and they have got to go. So I think the idea is not that the Martians are bad for coming. It's the way that they came that is bad. If the Martians came and said, hey, we need a place to live, can you help us?
Hey.
Oh, I'm sure we would, right?
Hi. Oh, yeah, definitely.
We all would. Yeah.
Well, they didn't land in America, man. They landed in a civilized country. But, that's his idea. I'm not saying it's the right idea, but like, I think he's saying like, they came to try and dominate, and then they paid the price.
Yeah, they were doomed before they even got there.
Mm-hmm.
Which makes the whole buried machines for whatever long time. Yeah, that's so like what?
Yeah, like where would they come from another planet in a lightning bolt? Like
they just
what?
On the spot. They came up with it on the spot. They were on set and they were like, "Shit, we forgot to write a way that the aliens get here." Okay, this is what we're gonna do.
That's what I'm saying. This was like this guy kind of read War of the Worlds. He had like a couple of things he remembered from when he read it when he was 13, like us, and then he was like, just wrote it in 4 hours.
That's it.
And they were like, whatever. It's Steven Spielberg, Tom Cruise, summer movie. Just doesn't matter. Just get it out there. There's aliens in it. People will go see it, and we'll make $600 million off the first weekend, and that's it.
Well, I don't think that was the first weekend, but
well, whatever.
I mean, that would have been great if they made $600 million on the first weekend.
I'm just saying.
The other thing I will say too, like in this movie, I feel like it's terrible, but it's also really kind of quick, and then it's over. Like in the book, the aliens take over England. Like they've destroyed the government, they killed millions of people, and they own England, and they're just trying to just planning for what's next. They're building machines to fly off of England to go to other parts of the world.
How long is it?
It's probably
it's not like a world invasion like in the movie.
No, it starts in England. Yeah,
of course, because they have to. That's where you would go
like
first.
2 to 3 weeks.
Yeah, okay. I think probably about 3 weeks. Yeah,
yeah. This is like 2 or 3 days.
Yeah, like the book is split in two halves. It's like The Coming of the Martians is book 1, and The World Under the Martians is book 2. Like they've already like halfway through the book, they've taken over England. Like they've destroyed civil government, murdered millions of people. London is a dead city. Whatever.
No, we didn't. Well, I mean, we don't know if we got that here. We don't really find that out.
Is Bayonne a dead city? I have to know.
Well, Boston
looks
pretty.
Fine.
I mean,
Boston's fine.
It looks like I don't know if there's a lot of dust. That's all I'm saying. So, but that's okay because his ex-wife was fine and her parents. Her parents are played by Gene Barry and Ann Robinson, who were in the 1953 War of the Worlds adaptation.
Oh, well, that's kind of
cool. Is that adaptation closer to this or more far away?
I don't know. We might have to watch it someday. Maybe it's a bonus episode.
Bonus episode.
Okay. Although I think I'd rather watch
the Ice. A bonus episode.
I think I'd rather watch the Ice Cube version.
Yeah, I kind of would too.
I think we would all rate this movie much higher if we watched the Ice Cube version in comparison.
Yeah. Tom, I know you wanted to get into the Tim Robbins section because I know you really like Tim Robbins in that. What did you like about that? I want to know.
I just really enjoyed Tim Robbins as an actor, and I thought that I remember when I first watched the movie, like thinking like, you get to see people in chaos and you get to see that kind of dark side of humanity. But you don't get to see somebody who's just become like a lunatic survivalist. And again, like, not to get to this is a movie in reaction to 9/11. And I feel like I knew multiple people who just like completely went down that path of personality about like, we got to get them before they get us. And like, we're like, they're, and like all the stuff, even though I did not remember, this comes right from the book, a different character in the book. I mentioned he's an amalgam. There's like another guy that comes in and out of the story that's like an artilleryman, like just a soldier that the narrator meets in the beginning and then meets up at the end. And by the end, the guy's like, hey man, we're like rats to them, like we're going to live in the tunnels and we're going to survive and and he's less crazy and more just like, we lost, it's over. Mm-hmm. Like if it was 70 years later, he would be like a stoner. Like, hey man, like, but I just thought it was I remember it being, and I felt it again watching it now, like just a really arresting performance about somebody who is as much of a threat to these people's health and well-being as the aliens outside.
Yeah, I mean, I'll say this. Not having seen the movie, right? I immediately was like, why is he closing the door when only 2 of them came over? Like, he's waving people over, and then as soon as those 2 come, he closes the door. I was like, he's going to do something. I actually wrote down, he's going to eat them. That's what I wrote down. He's going to eat them as soon as... Why is he sharpening an axe staring at them? Again, I wrote, he's going to eat them.
He's going to eat them.
I was a little disappointed that he didn't eat them. Tim Robbins reaffirms the theory, because 2 people say it now, that the tripods were, planted before people existed. That's his theory. The other one, I think in the beginning, it's just like, they did it a long time ago. And he's pretty sure of himself. And even that, I agree, Tom. Tim Robbins is great. His performance is great. And I think if it had ended at the point, if they had cut out the whole alien portion of that section.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Or not cut it out, but shorten it. Like that whole scene with the eye and the tentacle goes on for like, I don't know how many minutes, but way, way too long. And then they pull out the mirror and it's like, oh, is the mirror going to do something? No, it's just a fucking thing that in between the 2 of them. It doesn't do anything. And then the boot there, I was like, I knew that. I was like, that's not a foot. That's someone's boot. That's a boot. They're not there. This is like, and then, we talked about the aliens,
you can't fool me. That's a boot.
Looking through photos. Past the aliens looking through photos, which is just the most ridiculous part of that whole sequence, is maybe the second most ridiculous part, where the 2 of them are struggling with the gun, but silently, and they're like, and they're like making the sounds and motions, but there's no sounds coming out of them. I thought that was I started laughing out loud when I saw that. And then would cut back to them and you'd just be like, and you'd hear like occasionally you hear like a gasp of air, like, And their
I feel
faces
like,
were very intense. So
I'm trying to picture it in my head right now, and I don't know if like Tim Robbins has got to be a full foot taller
Yeah.
than Tom Cruise,
probably
maybe
a
more.
good 8 to 10 inches at least.
No, I think I'm pretty sure. Yeah, yes, Tim Robbins is like close to like 6.5 feet tall. Right?
Oh, is he? I thought he was like 6'3" or something.
You know, he's gigantic. Yeah.
Okay.
And so, like, it's one of those things where it's like, okay, well, you're Tom Cruise, so it's a believable physical conflict, right?
Well,
but
they're
in
trying
real
to
life,
be quiet, so it's
no,
it's who
I'm
can-
saying in
who
real
can be
life,
quiet
it's
and
like,
struggle more.
yeah, in real life, it would be like you having a wrestling match with your kid over a gun.
Yeah.
Like he's so much bigger than him.
Yeah, and there's the age gap is not really
No, they're
much,
probably
right?
they're
Substantial
probably
at all.
around the same
Probably a couple-
age.
yeah, they're probably only a
Yeah.
couple of years apart, maybe.
I did research on this. Yeah, I'm sure they're around the same age. We don't
And
know.
I don't know when he makes the decision to just go kill him, I thought it made him look a little bad that because Tim Robbins is just in the other room digging,
Yeah.
and he's just like, well, I'm just gonna go kill him because he's probably gonna
Right,
get us killed, but I don't know.
or eat us.
But yeah, well, I think it should have been more of like a clear cut, like he does it in like self-defense type of scenario.
Right.
This was more like it was more like I'm just gonna get him before he gets me.
Yeah. So they're 4 years. Tim Robbins is 4 years older than
Okay, yeah, so
Tom
not that
Cruise.
much.
Yeah.
I'm sure he's not in the physical condition though that Tom Cruise keeps himself in though.
I am very sure of that. Yeah.
You throw sandwiches against the window to work out.
Yeah, I mean, come on.
So they're vegetarian sandwiches.
Yeah, that was one thing that I was like, you're making Tom Cruise look a little bad now because
Yeah.
it seemed a little cruel and vicious and sadistic. Well, not sadistic, but cruel and vicious. Yeah, thank you, Danny, who says he
Right.
kills him to protect his daughter, who immediately walks outside and gets taken by aliens.
Yeah. Oh my God.
I was not expecting the whole cage thing with people in it because I had no idea that they were
Right.
that they were taking people. I had only thought that they were vaporizing them, so that was cool. And I know you mentioned that is in the book. Is there like a weird like almost sandworm anus thing that sucks the people up or pulls the people up through it?
I don't think so.
You don't see the narrator doesn't see exactly what happens. Just that the people are alive and then they're sucked dry. So he sees like
And
the
then-
after effects.
The narrator never gets taken in
No.
one, and he doesn't stick a grenade in it.
No,
No.
Okay.
no.
No.
The Tim Robbins-esque character in the book, the narrator knocks out in that fight, and then the alien takes the guy. But they see somebody else first, kind of get they're like, what is that? Oh, that's a person. Oh. But it like kind of happens. They can't see what the process is.
Yeah.
But like, yeah, they imply it's like they're kind of like vampiring. They're just sucking out their blood and whatever nutrients are in the body.
Yeah.
And they're like, and they say that they brought some other life forms from Mars that they had already like basically to eat on the way. So
No.
like the implication is that like this is just how they do it. They rely on other creatures to have digestive systems to get nutrients, and then they just take the nutrients from the bloodstreams of those creatures.
Oh. Okay. Yeah. I guess you didn't really need to explain that in the movie.
Yeah, that's something that I think, why is a longshoreman going to be, well, you see, what they're doing is, like, yeah, it's not.
Yeah. They would have gone the route of like The Happening, where Mark Wahlberg, the science teacher, figures everything out.
Exactly.
They're like, no, we're not going to make any bones about this. He don't know. It doesn't matter.
Right.
Look at the cool aliens. Look at the rays, the heat rays, laser beams.
Yeah.
See, he is inside of a big machine and moving things around in the beginning, and then the
That's
aliens are in big machines, and they move things around as well.
You know what would have been cool, Tom? If he used that machine to fight the aliens.
Yeah, like the end of Aliens, right? Get away
Yeah.
from her, you bitch.
Yeah. Again, something that they kind of set up in the movie, but it doesn't ever pays off.
No.
Yeah.
Just whip a shipping container at it.
Yeah,
That'd be cool.
exactly. He just starts throwing shipping containers at it, or he picks one up to block their heat rays with it. I don't know. Something. Think about something.
I've realized now, and then having this conversation, we seriously failed as a podcast. We have a friend who this is what this guy does for a living.
Oh,
we
you
should
mean
have
the longshoreman? You want me to,
yeah, we should have reached out to Dave.
I was trying to see if
Does he
that
know
was.
about solenoids?
Well, that's a car, but.
I know, but this guy knew about solenoids.
Oh well, we've established that those are two separate things. Those are two separate skills.
Okay.
That aren't related for him. Maybe not. No, in the beginning, I was looking at the shot and I was trying to see if that was the pier that he works at. I don't think it was. I think that's a different one.
Should see if he does a good job representing the job.
I was just like laughing at that opening shot of him in the machine, Tom Cruise, and I'm like how they had him like dressed, and I was like, they're trying to make Tom Cruise look like a blue collar guy, and it looked like he was pretending.
Well, he was.
I know.
Acting.
Yeah, I would have liked to see more of that. Like I said, I would have loved to get a little bit more of the Ray. What are their last names? I don't even know what his last name is.
Ferrier.
Why?
Ferrier.
Ray Ferrier. I'm gonna say Ferrier.
They're more like ferry less.
Oh, very
It's
good.
on the bottom of
Very good. I want to shout out to Spanish and
oh yeah,
and what's his name? The other guy who's in Seinfeld.
Yes.
His other friend. The two of them are together.
He's also on Severance.
Yes, he's on Severance. He was also in The Outsider, I believe, if I recall the movie. Not the movie, the TV show on HBO of the Stephen King book. He's the guy who says, "You don't wear the ribbon."
Yeah.
Right? And Seinfeld? Okay. Yeah.
I think so.
Amy Ryan,
Who does
who
not
I
wear
thought
the
was going to be in
ribbon?
the movie more. And then who's the
Well,
woman?
yeah.
Go ahead. Sorry.
No, she wasn't famous back then, I don't think so.
No, probably not. And then who was the woman who played the friend?
Lisa Ann Walter.
That's
She was
the
in-
woman from. Is that the woman from Abbott Elementary?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yes.
I thought it was her, much younger her. I was like,
much
But
younger
she
her.
was in, I think she was in The Parent
She was in the
Trap?
Parent Trap.
Okay, I never saw that. But yeah.
yeah.
Amy Ryan had already she was already
She
somebody.
was on The Office already?
No, not The Office. I think she had
Oh,
done.
okay.
And
other stuff, though.
of course, last but certainly not least, Roz Abrams.
Oh, I have a note about that. The note is Roz Abrams. Oh,
I was like,
local
oh, I
news
remember her.
reporter. Yeah.
Good
Good old Roz.
old Roz Abrams. If you don't know who Roz Abrams is, look it up. We're not going to tell you.
It doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter.
We were excited about it.
So I think about Amy Ryan didn't really hit it big until a couple years after this movie. She did Gone Baby Gone was like her first breakout performance.
Yeah. So, all right. Anything else that you want to share about this movie compared to the book? I will say that the book itself was released as a serial, serialized in Pearson's magazine in 1897 before the hardcover release in 1898. So technically, I guess the story came out a year prior to the book.
The book comes out. Well, the book was published in that time frame. It does take place in the very early years of the 20th century, the 1900s. So it's like a few years in the future. So this movie is roughly 100 years after the book takes place.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's very different. I guess that's why it's different, right?
That's the only reason.
Yeah.
Yeah, and in America, it came out as a serial in the Cosmopolitan. So, remember that? Remember when they used to put stories in magazines and publications?
I do remember that.
That was cool.
That was cool.
I wish they did that still.
Some of the chapters of the book are so much shorter than other chapters.
Yeah.
That I imagine if I'm I'm reading it as a serial, I'm like, oh good, the next chapter's out. I'm like, it's 4 pages long. Being quite upset, but that's all right.
Yeah. I think we touched on it a bit already, right? So this movie cost, let's see, I have it here somewhere, $132 million roughly, 10 months from production to release. And I was a bit blown away by this but I guess I shouldn't be surprised because it's a Steven Spielberg, Tom Cruise movie, but it made over $600 million globally. So while it might not have been the greatest movie, it made a shit ton of money.
I will say this. I really enjoyed rereading the book, even though the author did have a taste for certain words used again and again. And I would recommend it to anybody who, like, I think Jen mentioned it. I think it was on live and up prior to this, but like, yes, the beginning of the book is like a travelogue through a land I know nothing about. So like, you need a map of England 100 years ago to understand like some of the references. But it was surprisingly modern in its ideas and its philosophies, which I thought was it made for a fun read.
Yeah, just a note about what you were saying, Tom. Like Wells made it a point. He meticulously mapped the path, the Martians' destructive path through, actual Surrey suburbs. He used real landmarks and made it as, the descriptions were of the present day locations. And, he went to those locations and obviously wanted to make sure everything was scientifically accurate in this, or geographically accurate. So much so that when people read this book who lived in those areas, it kind of creeped them out a bit because it felt real to them because he was just describing, what they saw outside their windows. So maybe one day I'll go back and read that one.
Sure.
All right. Shall we give this movie a rating?
Yes.
I feel like Jen really wants to go first. Yeah.
I did not like this movie at all. I don't think it was a good adaptation. And I'm giving it 2 stars.
2 stars. All right,
wow.
Tom?
I have to say, I thought she was going to go even lower than that based on some of her comments before. So
that's low for me.
It is low for you.
I mean, that's
a bad rating. Yeah.
It's a movie that exists and like some of the stuff in it is good, but for the most part, not good, not enjoyable for me. I'm mad that other people liked it. There you go.
What do you want to do to those people, Jen?
I want to make their lives tumultuous.
This
got a 6.6 out of 10 on IMDb.
Yeah, that's a high rate. That's overrating it. I think I didn't like the movie that much either. I think I liked it a little bit more than Jen, but I'm also I don't know. I feel like my bell curve of good and bad ratings is more extreme than hers. So even though I liked it more, I'm also giving it a 2, which I think is like
a 2 is like a normal.
It's a normal bad movie. It's a normal bad movie for me. Like I feel like if I disliked it as much as Jen, I would give it like a 1 or a 1.5. I think it's like it's a sub-average film. It's got some good performances. It's got good effect shots and good visuals. I mean, Steven Spielberg always knows where to put the camera and how to frame a shot.
Yeah.
So I think that some of the visuals in the movie are very good. I do think it's a very subpar adaptation of a book, and I feel like they wanted to make a movie about something, and they used this book as a excuse to make that movie, as opposed to making an adaptation of the book.
I have a question then, because I feel like we've kind of been, using this rating. We're looking at it in different ways from different perspectives. And I'm wondering if this rating should be just the not comparing itself to the literary work and just as a movie.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, that's what it sounds like. Jen, you're taking that into account. You're like, I'm just rating it as a movie. That's why I'm giving it a 2, and I like it less than Tom.
You think I shouldn't think about the book? Or should?
Oh, I don't know. I'm posing that question here. We never discussed that.
No, I think we have to. That's the whole point of this.
Well, no, then there's the second question, whether you think it was a successful adaptation. I feel like there's...
Sorry, go ahead.
No, I was going to say, I feel like there's movies that I think are good, but I think they're not good adaptations.
Oh, yeah.
So...
Yeah, well, we have some of those planned on the docket, right?
Whereas, which weird, right? I feel like it's not often that the movie's better than the book, but it does happen sometimes.
Well, I think sometimes the movie's good, the book's good, the movie's not a good adaptation of the book. It's just a good movie, right? I don't think this movie is that. I don't think it's that bad, but I think it is below average. And And I feel like, for me, a 2 is like a below average movie.
Yeah. I'm
Right?
giving it a 3. It's very watchable, except when you get to Tim Robbins section.
Except for you, except for 25% of the film. That part's
it's
bad.
all just like nothing's happening. It's just like one thing happens. We're stuck in Tim Robbins' basement. We're stuck in what's his character's name? Harlan
Ogilvy.
Ogilvy.
That's the character. That's a name from the book.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah,
Oh,
neither of
That's
the
one
two
of his
characters.
friends.
Neither of the two characters that he's based on.
It's one of his like astronomer friends that gets killed.
Gets heat rayed up.
Heat rate.
Yeah. Again, not that I dislike Tim Robbins. It was just very, very.
Oh, yeah.
It was just such a drastic change of pace.
I'm
the
with
movie
you,
just
man.
ends really, and then it just ends.
It just ends.
It's just that.
So I give it a 3 though. Like I said, it's entertaining to watch. It's not a great movie, but it's not a bad movie. There's things that don't make sense, but I feel like I don't watch Steven Spielberg, Tom Cruise movies to try to make sense. Although, I mean, their prior I'm not, when I watch those types of movies, I'm not trying to make sense of it.
Yes, I get what you're saying. Like, you don't like the science fiction in this movie is a trap. And you kind of made a reference to it very early on. Like, this is like more like an action-y film than it is a science fiction film.
Science fiction was just a red herring.
Exactly.
I
Nice.
mean, like, I don't expect it to make sense in like how are the alien ships powered? Like, that's fine. I don't have to know that.
Yeah.
But the alien ships being like, that doesn't make any sense. They're
No, it
buried
doesn't
under
make
the
any
ground.
sense. And
that part needs to make sense for me.
Yeah. I get you. It didn't make any sense to me, and it did bother me, but I was like, it doesn't matter. And not for this movie. I was like,
they had the story, like they were going to adapt it straight from the book, but like, don't change that. That doesn't make any. Don't change it to something worse.
Yes.
And stupid.
So I think you both are saying this is not a successful adaptation.
No.
Of the book. Well, it was entertaining, and I enjoyed it, but was it good? Nah, it's okay. Sorry.
Was it entertaining? No.
Yeah.
Did I enjoy it? No.
Not
but
really.
was it good? Still no.
It's not.
Nah. The jury's still out.
Okay. No.
I would say
It's a
this:
mistrial.
if you're interested in watching a Spielberg film or a Cruise film, there are many other options.
Yes.
Well, and we're going to do another one of them for sure. Right,
Yeah.
because we already mentioned Minority Report, which is another sci-fi adaptation that the two of them did, which is a much better movie than this movie.
Yeah.
So if you're gonna decide like, hey, should I go back and watch this movie? I would go back and watch it. It's definitely an entertaining movie, and there's definitely a lot of things to talk about. But if you want to watch a good movie with these two, go watch Minority Report. You know what we have to do?
No.
You don't know what we have to do. We have opened up the Patreon.
Oh, we do have to do it.
Oh.
And as part of the Patreon, I want to say rewards, but as a part of what we do here for anyone who is a patron of ours is we give them a shout out on the podcast. So we are going to go back and read all of our patrons' names, not all on this episode, because
we're not prepared to do that.
350,000 of them.
Yeah.
No, just kidding. There's not even 350 of them, but we're gonna do some of them because I don't want to just read out a whole list of names and then people are gonna turn off the podcast. So I'm gonna read out a couple of them, and we'll go through a couple each week.
Maybe like Romper Room.
Like Romper Room.
Go ahead, Jen.
I'm just gonna say to people in chat. I see Dana and Danny and Skeeter and Meg and Jason. Okay, sorry.
All right.
My gosh.
We're going to start out with our Heroes of the Horn. This name looks familiar. Vincent Koza,
Hey.
Doc Brown, and Chris G. Thank you all for supporting us and continuing to support us. We appreciate you.
We do.
And then I'll start going through some of these other ones. We're not going to get through these. Oh, thank you to Celtic Mist. Oh, Brendan Johnston. We know him. Ben Kenobi, Con04, Stephen Rawls, David Garin, Millie Theron, Tristan Akiyama. And I'm going to stop here at Rower because I'm going to remember that when we record next time so we can pick up from there. Thank you all for continuing to support us. We appreciate you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And if anyone wants to join our Patreon just to hear me, Jen, or Tom say your name, check out the links.
We also just dropped our first bonus content for this podcast, right? For our patrons?
We did. So we covered the recent adaptations of Dune. Mm-hmm. So we have an episode talking about the 1984 David Lynch adaptation. That's actually our pilot episode. It's like our, right? I guess you can consider it like a pilot episode. Yeah. We just never released it. It was a practice run.
Yeah, it was us trying to figure out what the format of this would really be. We mentioned it on our Discord earlier today, but like for anyone who listens to this or knows me, like, you know how much I was looking forward to talking about that movie particularly. I love it. And it's worth a join just to listen to that episode.
Oh, it's quite a movie too if you haven't watched it. So,
oh my gosh, it's great.
Whack-a-doodle.
Good movie. That's a good movie.
That's right.
I want to remind everyone to follow us on social media. You can follow us on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and Blue Sky. Join us over in Discord to continue the conversation there. We also post our episodes on YouTube, so be sure to go to our YouTube page to like and subscribe. Rate and review us wherever you listen to podcasts, and check out our Patreon page to support us that way. Links to all the aforementioned information are included in the show notes to this episode. Final thoughts, Jen and Tom?
This is not a war any more than there's a war between men and maggots. This is an extermination.
Was that in the movie?
Yeah.
Yeah. You know who says it?
Is it Morgan Freeman?
No.
It's Tim Robbins, man.
Oh, that's right. Of course, Tim Robbins.
There's a similar line in the book. It's a little different.
I feel like, that was definitely something that could have been from the book. All right. I already did all that.
That was the last word.
That was the last word. Thanks, everyone, for listening. And you'll hear us next time.